The internet is one of the most important tools in recent history, giving us access to countless amounts of information. How it all came to be, and where we are heading is truly remarkable.
See that, want that, bring it back.
Wireless technology started with 1G. 2G technology began when companies enabled users to text from one device to another. 3G allowed people to make phone calls, send text messages, and browse the internet. 4G not only gave 3G a boost, but it also allowed for greater downloading and uploading capabilities. LTE made 4G technology even faster. 5G has much higher speeds and capacity than existing cellular systems. It creates a world in which not just people, but all things are connected. All these levels of cellular communication changed how people interact and drastically affected the lifestyles of people.
Every day, thousands of new devices are coming online. As our society becomes increasingly integrated and dependent on technology, the need for transferring tremendous amounts of data in seconds is becoming vital to maintaining productivity and the drive towards the integration of more advanced technology in our lives and society. While 4G has been around for quite some time now, 5G is currently being developed to cater towards our need for large amounts of data transfers in the shortest possible amount of time. 5G will allow for upload and download speeds that could be up to 10 to even 100 times faster than the average network speeds we have at the moment. This, combined with old 4G and 3G technology, will provide the utmost experience. Online content will now be able to be streamed much more smoothly, video calls will have much more clarity and less interruptions, downloading HD movies could take seconds, and downloading large files like video games will take a fraction of the time as well. Along with this, these faster and more reliable speeds will allow for even more applications like self-driving cars and smart cities. So, what is 5G? 5G, also known as 5th generation wireless technology, will allow data to be transferred in a significantly shorter amount of time. Traditional networks use low to medium frequency waves to deliver information. These wavelengths can be around half a meter to a meter in length. However, lower frequency waves cannot transfer as much data in a given amount of time as compared to higher frequencies, which is becoming a problem as in order for technology to progress and become more efficient, data needs to be able to travel much faster, especially with software becoming larger and things like 4K videos becoming ever so common. 5G networks will solve this problem, as they use a relatively high frequency wave, which is measured in millimeters. These waves can carry much more data, allowing for extremely fast upload and download speeds. Some estimates predict that the average speed could range from 1 GB per second to even 10 GB per second on the higher end. There is a downside, however. With a shorter wave frequency, it is more difficult for waves to travel as far and penetrate through objects like walls. As a solution, companies will have to invest in infrastructure like placing many small cells together, combined with traditional cell phone towers and an antenna on buildings or rooftops of houses. Most likely, an antenna will be placed outside of the roof of a person's house, which will pick up the millimeter wave signals sent from cell towers. Overall, 5G is likely to be introduced around 2020. Companies like AT&T and Verizon have both announced that they are planning on releasing a 5G network, and Samsung has also developed their own 5G router, which has reached speeds up to 4 GB per second.
Some compare the change from 4G to 5G to be similar to that of the typewriter to the computer. 5G, a complete technological paradigm shift, has the capability to take over the entire ecosystem, which changes the way we do business and understand economic policies. Businesses will experience seamless and unprecedented connectivity across the globe. 5G innovation will simply create a different economy, as various high-profile research firms suggest. To begin, 5G will see new revenue opportunities across the board. After researching 21 unique 5G uses, such as enhanced indoor wireless broadband coverage, augmented reality, virtual reality, asset tracking, and autonomous vehicles, researchers have found that 5G has an astronomical economic ceiling that can go all the way up to $12.3 trillion of revenue across numerous industries. To put such an idea into perspective, that revenue figure is nearly equivalent to the total US consumer expenditure in the entire year of 2016, and more than the combined spending of China, Japan, France, Germany, and the UK. 5G will also be responsible for new growth and innovation. The 5G global value chain, including network operators, core technology and component suppliers, device OEMs, infrastructure providers, and content and application developers, is expected to increase output to $3.5 trillion in 2035, which is significantly larger than the mobile value chain is today in its entirety. The largest contributors in the gross output will be China, with the US, Japan, Germany, South Korea, France, and the UK following in that given order. 22 million jobs across the world will be supported by the growth of 5G. The commencement of the 5G era and enhanced mobile broadband applications and mission-critical services will see long-term growth in annual global GDP at a sustainable rate. 5G's contribution to the global GDP between 2020 and 2035 is predicted to be at par with today's Indian economy, which is the 7th largest in the entire world.
5G will usher in the next era in the transportation industry. It will enable the first generation of completely automated vehicles. This will have a great impact on society because it will eliminate the need for truck drivers, bus drivers, and other careers provided by transportation. Automated vehicles will provide a much safer and efficient way of transportation. How does 5G make this possible, you ask? 5G offers a more secure and faster broadband connection, which will enable vehicle-to-vehicle communication. This provides a multiplicity of communication by vehicles communicating with each other. Vehicles will be able to sense obstacles beyond just in front of them. 5G increases flexibility in the management of the connection and in the offering of services. With the introduction of smart parking through efficient management of parking space, thereby reducing traffic and pollution. It will enhance traffic as vehicle-to-vehicle communication will provide the most effective route, reducing collisions. 5G will have a monumental effect on other industries. It will enable 1.4 trillion in sales in sectors like agriculture, mining, construction, and transportation. 5G will have many benefits to society, but it's still a dream of the near future because the only way it becomes reality is if there's full cooperation between transportation players and telecommunication providers. With competition of being the first to implement 5G still looming, these large corporations may not be so willing to work together.
Although 5G sounds like a promising technology to improve connectivity and communication with our surroundings, 5G technology has numerous disadvantages considering human health and the environment. 5G technology consists of radio frequency exposure, which poses a serious health risk to humans, animals, and the environment. Scientists are cautioning that before rolling out 5G, as research on human health effects urgently is needed to be fully completed first to ensure the public and environmental safety. Recent studies show that higher frequency ranges, above 6 GHz to 100 GHz and beyond, utilize submillimeter and millimeter waves, which interact directly with human skin, specifically the sweat glands. The impact of these waves and the risk of skin diseases such as melanoma and skin cancers have not been fully researched. Current research includes conclusions highlighting an increased cancer risk, cellular stress, increase in harmful free radicals, genetical damages, structural and functional changes of the reproductive system, and learning and memory defects. A Russian study done on rats indicates that frequencies in the range of 53 to 78 GHz impacts the heart rate variability, an indicator of stress. Similarly, another Russian test done on frogs indicates that the millimeter waves resulted in heart rate changes on frogs. These researches evidently prove that not only does 5G impact human health, but biological systems as well. Currently looking at 5G, its implementation within society also highlights strong environmental risks. 5G will require build-out of literally hundreds of thousands of new wireless antennas in neighborhoods, cities, and towns. A cellular small cell or a transmitter will be placed every 2 to 10 homes according to estimates, which in result heavily impacts ecosystems. Hello, sir. My name is Ahmed, and
My name's Shiv.
Nice to meet you, sir. So today we're gonna start off by asking you what you know about the technology 5G. So do you know too much about it, or are you
All I know is, I think better than 4G.
better in 4G?
And maybe analogous to LTE,
Yeah.
but no, I don't have exhaustive knowledge of what 5G is.
So basically what 5G allows us to do is it allows better upload speeds, better download speeds, and what it does is basically, right now currently we have like giant just cell towers, but what it does is it creates, like the idea behind it is creating a lot of tiny cell towers, and then getting a larger range of wireless connectivity basically.
Yeah, so like how it works is that right now with 4G we have they use wavelengths that are relatively long, so they can go far, they can penetrate through walls, but the problem is they can't carry that much data. So like downloading a movie takes longer per se.
So the range is more, the quality of the connection is lower. 5G is a higher
Exactly.
quality, lower range.
Yeah.
Lower range of frequency.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like with 5G, like what Ahmed was saying, like you can't put, like you can't like use, you can use like big cell phone towers, but you also have to put like smaller like cells and towers nearby, since it can't travel as far. But the upside is you're gonna have like insane like upload and download speeds that could range from a gigabyte to 10 gigabytes per second. So essentially you can like download a movie in like a couple seconds, like an entire HD movie.
And then what it allows us to do is it allows a larger range of technology to be introduced that will require these larger upload and download speeds, for example, like virtual reality and virtual augmentation. So in order to have that present, we obviously need a system that's able to sustain it.
That's right.
So as a teacher, what do you think, how will 5G impact like education as a whole?
Well, I think you hit it right on the head. With emergent technologies, like I'm fairly certain that augmented reality and virtual reality, more augmented reality in the long run, will be a total game changer.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be sitting in front of a computer with screens in front of me
Yeah, for sure.
for my entire career. I think that'll change at some point. Yeah, I mean, to support the amount of data crunching that we need to get done, of course, a better connection, something like 5G or an analogous technology would have to start to emerge. It's really hard to say though. I don't know if any of you have ever tried to predict the future or engage in futurist culture and whatever it is. Incredibly difficult to predict one thing over the other. As soon as there's some disruptive technology, it does exactly that, right? It disrupts everything.
Yeah.
So when I think of 5G, let's say in 2018 right now, so it's April 2018 today, if we outfitted our entire school, let's say, with 5G connection, we had drops and we had, tons and tons of overlap, so our network is, robust and it works for everyone. I don't know if it's going to make a difference to learning.
No?
No. That's my opinion. I don't know if the average student would be able to learn more business, more science, be able to engage in their phys ed classes, art classes, more so just because we have 5G.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, though,
The technology allows will make it.
that's right. If in the future we do have opportunities where we are using, I don't know, virtual reality, augmented reality consistently, I think there's a conversation to happen when that happens.
When that
I mean, at the moment, I'm actually right behind you. I have a little Google Cardboard set. That's school-based virtual reality right now.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of where we're at. Those things are $20. And then I put my
Phone in
very
it.
expensive phone, like this is $1,000 computer.
Yeah.
So it's $1,000, so $1,020 gets me a very, maybe a little superficial virtual reality experience.
Yeah.
The virtual reality that we're talking about, I think, requires a lot more than just 5G.
Exactly.
It's investment of time, investment of money, there's even time in developing what learning looks like in a virtual environment.
So that leads up into our next question. So do you think implementation of 5G will impact like education or like Peel financially, like in a very negative way, or do you think it'll be something that Peel will be able to adapt to very easily in like financial standpoint?
My opinion is the connectivity is it's like oil in the machine, right? So the machine is important, the parts are important. Having a Vive and an Oculus and all this stuff, if we're talking about virtual reality, I know we're talking about more than that, we're talking about drones and other things and whatever, but let's say we're just talking about augmented reality and virtual reality. A HoloLens, the type that we would want, is about $1,500 per unit.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's expensive.
Plus a supercomputer to power it. Oculus is the exact same way. $800, plus you need a $2,000 machine to run the thing.
Yeah.
And there's wires all over it. So that's a $2,500 investment, let's say. $2,500 for one person to experience this at a time. So scaling it, very difficult right now.
Yeah.
I would hope in the future that, once these technologies take off, if they do, inevitably competition, as you know, you're all business students, it'll drive the cost down.
Yeah,
Then we
yeah,
have
definitely.
the product. Then we have the actual device. Then supporting it 5G, I'm even thinking like electrical supports too. All of that comes afterwards.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
So
Right.
the technology needs to be fully established.
Yeah,
in your
I mean, if I had total control over what we did in terms of modern learning and technology specifically, everyone has 1, 2, 3 of these,
Yeah.
plus a tablet, plus a laptop. How many times have any of you have devices that run out of charge throughout the day? All the time. So the bigger question at the moment in April 2018 at North Park is everyone has devices. We don't have enough electrical infrastructure to support charging all day.
Yeah.
That's the priority for me. If we can manage solar panels that do it, if we can maybe outfit us so we have kind of furniture that has some sort of plug-in,
Yeah.
plug-and-play technology, that would be of a higher priority than 5G.
5G
Because
really.
you know,
So like,
if by third period you can't access 5G because your device is dead,
yeah.
that's more meaningful than having
That
5G.
definitely-
Yeah, that makes more sense. Like, cause like right now the technology we have and that we use in schools, it doesn't really require that fast like internet connection of that speed. So it's not really a point of upgrading that until we do have the technology that requires that amount.
And we have the machines established before we will move on, right?
Yeah. And really in Canada, I don't know if you're aware, but our upload download speeds
Is one of the best in the world.
one of the best
Yeah.
in the world. Like
Yeah.
I use my provider, I go with the lowest plan in terms of speeds and then get unlimited internet.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't admit this on camera. I play video games. Latency is an issue. I don't want to play if I'm getting laggy or whatever.
Yeah.
Even at the very lowest plan, I don't experience any lag.
Makes
So speed, I agree with what you're saying. Speed doesn't seem to be too relevant right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you may not know this, but with current research with 5G technology, there has been research conducted where it does say that it may have negative, like health risks. So it may be able to cause cancer, it may be able to cause skin diseases, and it may affect vital organs because of the frequency range. So because 5G has a 6 gigahertz to 100 gigahertz frequency range, that affects our skin directly as well as our human organs. So do you think further down the line this may be a legal issue if, say, the school board does choose to introduce it before fully getting full research into it or before fully knowing what the what goes on with the technology beforehand?
Mhm.
Do you think it will be a legal issue for the school board or in general?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are in no small part in public education. We all pay for public education
Yeah.
through taxes, right?
Yeah.
So, and your education, you are entitled to your education, right? You get it free or whatever. My prerogative would be never to put you in a compromising spot. When I say you, I mean the student body, into the future and the past and present, everyone. We had to make a change. We had Coke machines at some point in the past. When health started to become very, very relevant and research came out, quantifiable research, you can tie the consumption of this product to childhood obesity. When that line is drawn, okay, good, we can make a decision. Until that research exists, we don't make a huge decision. When we found out that Wi-Fi in its current state, the 2.4 gigahertz hubs that we have,
Yeah.
when the research came back and said it's okay, what happened? Every school in Peel now has Wi-Fi. If there is a problem with 5G, compelling research does need to be done before we go full tilt, because we're using public dollars on this.
Yeah.
It's an accountability piece. I mean, yeah, our safety is part of
Yeah.
it, of course,
Yeah.
right? That's the first. But second is, it would be inappropriate just to experiment
Whoa.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes
on
sense.
us.
Yeah. So completely makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So the research would have to be done first.
Okay, that makes sense. Because from my understanding, I just thought, oh, we would just introduce it and see how it goes. But that makes sense, like as a district, because we pay our taxes and
Yeah.
you guys.
And our point is education.
Yeah.
At the end of it, even if we didn't have these piece of technology in front of us, right? Education can still happen. It happened for a very long
it
time.
does.
Yeah.
And you can have compelling learning happening without devices.
Yeah.
These are just
Add-ons.
add-ons and catalysts. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, thank you for the
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you,
was enjoyable.
Shala.